This is a South African National Defense Force, or SANDF, 24-hour ration, and it goes by the name Rat Pack. This is basically exactly the same as what the SANDF would have, but this is a commercial version that's commercially available. First off, I wanted to take a look at how much this weighs. Of course, this is a 24-hour ration, so it's going to be heavier than a single meal ration. It comes in at 3 pounds, 6.8 ounces, or 1.554 kilograms. And these last for basically a year. The shelf life is a year. This has a best by date of February 2019. So this was obviously packed around February 2018. So even though it only has a 1-year shelf life, we're actually eating this within date. So let's go into this one and take a look at it. There's our chicken, pasta, and veg. 300 grams. All right, it looks like we have some drinks here. This is an isotonic sports drink, pineapple flavor. So we have a pineapple, we have an orange isotonic sports drink, and we have, this is a lactose-free nutritional shake, and it's banana. We also have strawberry porridge. We also have raisins. Ingredients, raisins. It expires December 2020. And we have 18 grams of soup in a cup, beef apparently. We have nut butter, and we have tomato sauce, creamer for porridge, tea, and coffee, and there's also fruit chutney. There are 8 fuel tablets, 2 packages of 4 fuel tablets each. And to go along with fuel tablets, some matches in a pretty cool looking box. And here are biscuits, and then we have All-Star maize bar, banana flavor, and 2 little tubes of processed cheese. Oh, it's Gouda. This would be our other main. And this is the beef curry, beans, and vegetable. And there's our beef curry beans. And then we also have a starch. This one is going to be samp. Ingredients: water, reconstituted samp, canola oil. One of the fun things about getting international rations is trying something different that we never had before. Alright, and we also have instant coffee granules. So you get 2 packs of those. And we have a bunch of Super C vitamin C tablets. So it's basically a whole bunch of grenadilla and 1 orange and 1 watermelon. You get 8 of those. And we also have 3 little packs of sugar. You have 1 serving of black tea. And we have a couple packs of salt, and we have 5 Hall's menthol sugar-free gum, 2 pieces in each. Stimorol. Got these little packs here. This is Chloroflock water purification powder. That's interesting. It's water purification powder instead of tablets, and we get 4 of those. And the last thing we have is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these pretty flimsy little bags. And then the last thing, it's actually a menu. Oh, and it actually even tells you what to have for morning, for lunch, and for dinner. So let's take a look at everything all together, and then we'll take a look at the breakfast and the lunch and the dinner. Alright, and here's everything that comes in this 24-hour ration. You can see it's pretty comprehensive. And we'll break it down into 3 meals, but I just kind of want to show you everything that fit in this relatively small box. Alright, breakfast is going to be pretty simple. We're going to have the strawberry porridge, raisins, the maize bar, and then the coffee. From what I've heard, the coffee is quite weak, so considering how much there is in here, we're just going to make up 1 cup of coffee using these 2 pouches. We also have 2 of the Super C's. We have a granadilla and orange. Orange seems like it goes good with breakfast. And 1 of the menthol gums. And this meal is going to have quite a bit of sugar and creamer. We have 2 sugars and 3 creamers. So we get quite a bit there to hopefully make everything taste pretty good. Alright, so in addition to this ration not coming with a stove, it also doesn't come with any utensils. So for the sake of the review, we're just going to go ahead and use a standard MRE spoon, something that's probably familiar to a lot of people watching this video. For the porridge, it says to add 250 milliliters of hot water. There's definitely a smell of artificial strawberry coming off of it. It's pretty pleasant. It smells a lot like strawberry quick, like the stuff that you make chocolate milk out of, but the strawberry version. Alright, and here's what it looks like. Very pink. Looks like Pepto-Bismol or something. Pretty clumpy. It doesn't seem to be too bad, and I'm kind of breaking the clumps up as I can. But it's an interesting thing. It's, as I said, when I was pouring the powder in, it smelled like strawberry, that sort of artificial strawberry. But now it doesn't so much. Now that it's actually all mixed, it basically just kind of smells like a cornmeal kind of mixture. Maybe like grits, or almost like oatmeal. So it's sort of weird. It doesn't really even seem to smell that much like strawberry anymore. But, I don't know, should be interesting. Let's check out these raisins. And they seem to look okay. They have a little bit of a grittiness on them. It seems like there's something on them, but it does just say ingredients raisins. But they look like good raisins. Looks like a couple different kinds of grapes in there. Darker ones and lighter ones. And let's check out the maize bar. Energy, protein, electrolytes, all kinds of good stuff. And it's a chocolate covered bar. Now there is some of that artificial banana smell coming through. Like any kind of like candy that's banana flavored. Basically has that sort of smell to it. Maybe a little bit of the chocolate mixed in. Looks pretty good though. And the last thing we'll do is make up our coffee. And then we'll start eating. And we could certainly save one of these for another meal, but let's go ahead and dump both of them in here. Very fine instant powder. Almost no smell coming off of that. Yeah, I basically made this black because I wanted to see what it tastes like on its own. Maybe we'll add some creamer and sugar too. Alright, let's go ahead and check out this relatively modest breakfast. Let's give the coffee a taste. Yeah, it's nothing really to write home about. It is on the weak side. And, of course, that's why they give you creamer and sugar. So let's try to add some of those. Add a little sugar. Yeah, we'll add the whole thing. You got enough of it, there's no need to skimp. Alright, that certainly lightens it up. Yeah, and it improves the flavor. I'm not really a coffee drinker. Actually, I'm not a coffee drinker, and I actually don't mind this. I'm actually getting a lot of flavor from the creamer and the sugar, naturally. And because of the fact that there isn't a heck of a lot of coffee flavor, it tastes more like a sweet drink than a coffee drink. So that's interesting. And now I'm going to try the strawberry porridge. It's an interesting looking thing. I'm sure it's a regional kind of thing, but let's give it a try. Yeah, a lot of cornmeal kind of a flavor to it. Barely any strawberry flavor. The lumps are kind of weird. They give you a weird texture that's not all that great. But I guess it's something that's going to give you some nutrients, get your day started off right. Not very interesting. Let's try to sweeten it up a little bit. Need some sugar. About half a pack. Need some creamer. Just see what that does to it. Mix this up and we'll be right back. Alright, I gave that a little try and I ended up adding the rest of that pack of sugar and creamer. I don't know if this is supposed to be sweet. I'm assuming it is because it's strawberry flavored and it has that artificial strawberry, but since that doesn't really come through, it seems odd to have like a really sweet porridge. And I do have a sweet tooth, so that helps. It's still weird. It's kind of hard to describe. It doesn't taste like much. Now it tastes like sugar and creamer. It's like sugar and creamer, a little bit of a strawberry undertone, and then an aftertaste of like a bland kind of a cornmeal taste. Not terrible though. So we have two dishes that, the way I had prepared them, they basically taste like creamer and sugar. Let's check out these raisins, which are, I don't know if you can see, it looks like they have a little bit of something on them. Some kind of a coating. I don't know if it's codeine or some kind of like a sugary sort of a thing, but as I said, the ingredients just say raisins. So there's definitely something on there. And these do almost taste like they're starting to ferment a little bit. I don't know, it's just sort of an odd extra flavor to them. It almost tastes like beer or root beer or something, which is why I'm kind of thinking like fermenting. And there's definitely some kind of a coating on them that's naturally occurring or something that they added. But they're pretty good. So now I'm kind of looking forward to this maize bar. Alright, it's got some we give to it. Okay, the inside smells a lot like that artificial banana smell. Not too bad. That's interesting. It kind of looks, it has a look of a standard energy bar kind of a thing, but I think because of the maize meal that they use in it, it is a different texture. Kind of hard to chew. It's quite dense, but the flavor's good. It definitely has that banana flavor, and just a little bit of the chocolate mixing in, and it actually, to think of something to describe it, as strange as it might sound, both in taste and even kind of the feel of eating it, it reminds me of the old candy, the circus peanuts. This tastes very similar to that. It's pretty good though, it's different. And all that leaves us left with is a couple of Super C tablets. They're both the granadilla and the orange, which I gotta be careful because they both look quite similar. Try the granadilla first. It's an interesting flavor. I'm not really too familiar with passion fruit, but it's certainly different. You can certainly expect vitamin C tablets, you kind of expect them to taste like orange. So that's kind of an interesting, different sort of a flavor for it. Yeah, we'll try the more traditional orange vitamin C tablet. The orange is definitely very much your typical vitamin C sort of taste that you would expect. It's fine. And we'll try one of these Stimorol Air Rush Menthol Sugar-Free Gums by Halls. There's two in here, little chiclets basically. Whoa, that is strong. That's some of the strongest gum I've ever had in a ration. It's not really on the refreshing side. It does what it kind of should do. It does cleanse your palate, but it's almost like they think that you're going to be eating really bad food and you're going to really want to get rid of the taste, because it definitely gets rid of the taste and gives you a lot of menthol flavor. All right, and here's what we're having for lunch. We have the 300 grams of chicken, pasta, and vegetables. We're also going to have the lactose-free nutritional shake, isotonic sports drink, pineapple flavor. And then to have something using hot water, we had the coffee for breakfast and we're having the tea with dinner. So we're going to have the beef soup in a cup for lunch. So we have a couple of Super C tablets and the Stimorol Air Rush menthol gum. And then some stuff that's kind of going to be shared between lunch and dinner. We have the small pack of biscuits, probably going to use 2 for lunch and 2 for dinner. The nut butter, the processed Gouda cheese, the fruit chutney, the tomato sauce, and a pack of salt. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and heat up the chicken, pasta, and vegetables in hot water. And we'll get everything else plated and check it all out. Let's go ahead and check out these biscuits. The biscuits, they basically smell like clay, like kids modeling clay. It actually has a little bit of a sweetness to the smell, almost like maraschino cherries. And the nut butter, this has peanuts, cocoa mass, hazelnut paste, emulsifier. Let's check out the nut butter. Wow, that smells really good. It's obviously it's got the hazelnut in it, so it's going to be similar to Nutella. It smells really good though. And we'll check out the Gouda cheese spread. I don't really need this. I don't know if it needs to be kneaded or not. Yeah, it's a little clumpy there. Not really getting too much of a smell other than plastic off of that. But there's our Gouda processed cheese spread. And then we have a couple of drinks. We have our isotonic sports drink, pineapple. And it says it makes 250 milliliters. And I don't know if there's a tear notch on it or not, but I was able to get into it. Let's see what this smells like. It's sort of it actually kind of looks like lemon lime drink. It's sort of a greenish yellow color and not really much smell coming off there at all. Then we have 200 mils of water. And let's see what the drink looks like. Yeah, I'm smelling a little bit of pineapple coming off of that. Alright, the lactose-free nutritional shake, banana, also takes 250 mils. This does not seem to have tear notches on it, so we'll just have to make our own. Well, there's not really much of a smell at all coming off of there. It basically smells like flour. I'm guessing when we put the water in, it'll activate the banana smell. Let's see. Probably could have added a few less milliliters. But as I'm stirring it, the banana smell is wafting through the air. It's that kind of standard artificial candy banana smell. Alright, I was going to go ahead and transfer that into a mug, but since it makes so much, I guess I'll just leave it in this large glass. And next we'll take a look at the beef soup in a cup. That's interesting. It basically, it's a powder. It looks a lot like the dairy shake powder we just opened up, except for the fact that it's got corn in it and some little flakes of, I don't know if it's oregano or some kind of seasoning. But it smells a lot like an instant ramen soup, except for the fact that it doesn't have any pasta. Kind of smells like the flavoring packet for one of those. It's kind of thick, maybe a little bit more water. It's kind of looking like maybe I would have been better off putting the water in first. It was a little bit hard to mix, and basically what you get with the amount of water I put in is like a thick broth. Strangely enough, it has almost no odor coming off of it at all. It basically smells like hot water in a canteen cup. I don't know if it'll have a little bit more taste to it than it has smell. Not terribly exciting, but it'll give you a little something warm to put in your stomach. And that just leaves us with our chicken pasta and veg, which has been heated up in some really hot water. Let's see what this is like. Looks and smells quite a bit like the US chicken with noodles and vegetables, which is basically the exact same thing. Yeah, it looks a lot like a chicken noodle stew kind of thing, with the US version, which is basically a chicken noodle soup, but in a thicker version. Alright, that overall looks relatively good. It has sort of an odd congealed clumpiness to it that almost, well, you can make your own judgments. It almost kind of has a little bit of a, sort of like a barf kind of appearance. I don't know if that's cheese or what. You can see we do have a lot of chicken in here. Some pretty good chunks of chicken. I see carrots. Obviously there's the pasta. And then just this sort of weird clumpiness that it looks like something like, I don't know, clotted in there or something. It must just be something in the ingredients, because this is not even a year old. It's definitely within its best use by date, so it doesn't seem like it should indicate an issue, any kind of a problem. But let's try it out. That's good. It is very much, if you've had the chicken noodles and vegetables in the US MREs, which has been a staple for decades, you basically had this. It seems like it has a little bit less of the vegetables. It seems like it only has the carrots. No, actually I see a pea over there. So it's kind of standard chicken noodle soup fare with the peas and carrots. And the chicken seems to be good. It's definitely not an over-processed kind of chicken. It just looks like chicken. Yeah, it's a real chicken. Kind of flavorful. The chicken itself doesn't have a ton of flavor, other than tasting like chicken, obviously. But the sauce is pretty salty. Not overly, but wow. Okay. There's big chunks of chicken. Look at this. Have you ever seen anything like that in a ration before? That is a big chunk of chicken. And there's other good sized ones in here too. It's not like that's all you're getting. And let's see, the pasta does seem to be on the mushy side. That's obviously something that can happen in a retort pouch. This isn't terribly old, so it basically feels like it's been overcooked, like you just left it in a little bit too long. But it doesn't really detract from the meal. It's a very good entree. And a nice size, 300 grams. I don't really see any need to add the salt. Obviously you could salt it up a little bit. If you had some hot sauce with you could put that in it. But it's got a lot of flavor. It's pretty good. And I think the fruit chutney And the tomato sauce doesn't seem like it would go with this, and the fruit chutney just seems like it would go with that curry better. So I'm gonna actually save these for the dinner. We will check them both out. Let's try this soup though. Well, it's still hot too. I can get some of the basically like 3 or 4 kernels of corn in here, or maybe not even that, but a little bit of corn, some little flakes of something, oregano or something. Definitely nothing too spectacular, but something to give you something warm and give you more nutrients. Luckily, it does have a lot more flavor than it has smell. It does have sort of a beef instant ramen soup kind of a taste, but there's something else too. It almost tastes a little bit like cardboard. Yeah, I wouldn't expect too much from this, and you don't really get too much from it. But it is also pretty salty. Let's try this pineapple beverage. It's got kind of a day glow color, kind of like the US MRE drinks. Well, that's good. That's really sweet. I like stuff sweet. If you don't, you might want to add some more water to this. But considering I added the full 250 mils, it actually has a nice sweet fruit kind of taste. An artificial pineapple taste. It's like a tropical fruit punch without all the other fruits, just the pineapple part. But that's actually really good. And then we'll start with the Gouda cheese. I'm going to take a little bite of the cracker or the biscuit first. Yeah, I was going to say really no flavor to that, but it does have a little bit of like an aftertaste of, like I said, a little sweetness. To me, it kind of reminds me of like maraschino cherries. It's a good conveyance for the cheese and for other spreads. Yeah, not terribly interesting, but pretty good. The Gouda cheese, that's definitely different. I'm so used to the canned cheddar cheese taste that it's strange to get something that is different. And it's not bad. It's pretty mild, kind of understated. It's kind of spongy here. I don't know, like a squishy ball. And the tastes go kind of strange together because of the sweetness of the biscuit. Which brings us to the nut butter. And this should be a better combination because the nut butter is definitely going to be sweet, and there's that slight hint of sweetness among the oat biscuit kind of taste. Yeah, that's really good. It's definitely a step up from peanut butter. Once again, if you like sweet stuff. It is very similar to Nutella, maybe even a little bit more flavorful. Yeah, kind of trying it on its own too. And it's really good just by itself. But it goes good with that oaty cracker. And I guess the last thing we have is this nutritional shake, which does have that artificial banana smell coming off of it. And surprisingly little taste. A little bit of a hint of banana, and that's really about it. But it's not a bad way to get some more nutrition. You know, I mean, that's the whole point of this stuff. I mean, obviously they do want it to taste good, but they want to get a lot of nutrition elements in you. And that does it while being kind of interesting. So all we have left is the gum and the Super C tablets, since we're going to save the chutney and the tomato sauce for later. And since I already did the granadilla for breakfast, just to save some time, we're just going to go do the only other one that's different. The rest of them are all granadilla. There was one orange and there's one watermelon. So let's try that one. A little different color, not surprisingly. Not really any smell coming off of it. It was a pretty good taste to it. It doesn't exactly tastes like watermelon. I was really expecting kind of that artificial candy watermelon smell, kind of like the banana. Not really too much coming off it. It is good though. Yeah, a nice way to get some vitamin C. And we do have the gum, but I did try this with the breakfast, and it's very strong. The menthol is really, really powerful. But that was a look at lunch from the Day 4 menu of the SANDF 24-hour Rat Pack. And now let's finish up by checking out dinner. Alright, here's dinner. It does look like quite a few components here, but we are kind of borrowing some stuff from lunch. We do have the leftover biscuits, the leftover nut butter, and of course we have the fruit chutney and the tomato sauce again. But otherwise we have the beef curry beans and vegetable, 200 grams, the 150 grams of samp, something I've never had before. Gonna heat both of these up in some hot water. And we have the orange isotonic sports drink, a bag of black tea, another tube of the Gouda cheese. We have a creamer and sugar for the tea, pack of salt, and a couple more Super C's. Both of these are granadilla, and some more of the very strong menthol gum. Let's go ahead and get started. Biscuits, we did check out 2 of them for lunch. Here's our, I guess, basically like an oat kind of biscuit. As I said in the lunch one, it kind of smells like clay, like a children's kind of a clay that they play with a little bit of sweetness, kind of like a maraschino cherries. And we have the, apparently, I believe it says Gouda processed cheese. Anyway, that's the cheese. And this package actually has a pretty good amount of the nut butter, so I do have more of that left over. And of course, like I said, with these 4 biscuits, you're not really getting a lot of things to put 2 tubes of cheese and a pretty big package of nut butter on. It'd be nice to see a few more biscuits in there. But I suppose you can put the cheese also on the entrees if you need it. The orange isotonic sports drink takes 250 milliliters of water. Get that right here. And the pineapple one I thought was really good. Let's see what their orange is like. It looks orange. It kind of looks like crushed up Super C tablets, the orange ones. And it kind of has that sort of chemical, artificial smell. It smells like vitamin C, basically. And not unlike the US orange sports drinks. Yeah, it smells quite a bit like the US MRE orange beverage drink. Not so much the carbohydrate electrolyte ones, but the regular ones. Kind of a nice orange smell coming out of there. Artificial, of course, but that kind of goes with the territory. Very orange. And we have the tea. Black tea. Kind of nice it's in this little top pouch. I always reuse that for something. This smells kind of like black tea, not very strong smelling. And we'll let that steep. Probably try it as is and try it with some cream and sugar too. And really about all that's left is our entree, our samp, and our beef curry, beans and vegetable. And as far as ingredients go, the samp isn't terribly interesting. The samp is just water, reconstituted samp, canola oil, and salt. The beef curry, beans and vegetable is a little bit more of a standard kind of a ingredient list. But let's check out the samp. Maybe something like grits. It's quite lumpy. Smells very plain. Wow, that's different. Okay, so it's sort of like grits or something like that, but the corn is still kernels. It's pretty large kernels even. So it's pretty interesting. It seems like it's going to be pretty bland on its own. And I'm a little bit concerned about how much between the 150 grams of samp and 200 grams of curry, if it's all going to fit in that tray compartment. That smells good. It definitely has a curry smell to it. I can smell the beef in there. And that actually looks really good. Yeah, let's go ahead and try this out. Get into the mains while they're still hot. And I do want to try the samp on its own because, as I've mentioned, I've never had samp before. I kind of see what that's all about before we get into trying everything together. It's actually not too bad. Not much flavor as I was kind of expecting. It's definitely pretty bland, but I actually kind of like the texture. I kind of like how it clumps up and you get those pieces of corn in there. It's actually interesting. I should have kept some separate. Maybe try some with some salt on it or something. But yeah, it's pretty good. And the curry itself seems to be basically mostly beef, which is good to see. Beef with some carrots in there and these large beans. Let's try some of that on its own. And the sauce and beef is 35%. Butter beans is the beans that are in there, 10%, and vegetables 10%. And that's good. It has a little bit of little bit of a curry kick to it. Nothing overwhelming, but tasty. Let's try it all together. Yep, that mix is really good with the samp. The samp doesn't really add anything flavor-wise, but it gives you some extra texture, gives you a little bit of corn in there. It's actually really good. I don't really see any need to add anything, but we do have the tomato sauce, which I'm assuming is going to be like ketchup. Let's try a little bit of that. I don't want to mess this up if this isn't a good addition. It's really bright. Yeah, it pretty much tastes like a ketchup. It's got a little bit of a, I don't want to say spice, it's not spicy, but a little bit of something in it. It's almost like a steak sauce. And let's try that on there. It's okay. It almost makes it taste like a meatloaf with ketchup. Certainly doesn't need it, but it's not bad. The chutney seems like it's a little bit more of a natural. So try some of that. I don't think it needs the salt. And once again, that adds a little something I don't think it necessarily needs. A little bit on the sweet side. Mixes in with the heat pretty good. Let's try the tea while it's still hot. That's actually been steeping for a while. It doesn't really taste like too much. It seems like a serviceable black tea. Try it with the creamer and sugar. Since we have them. Certainly changes the look. Yeah, I'm kind of like the coffee. It basically just makes it taste like creamer and sugar. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm crazy about processed Gouda cheese. It didn't really do that much for me in the lunch menu. It's not bad, it's just something I'm not used to. When I bite into some processed cheese spread in a ration, I expect it to be like the US cheddar cheese. I don't think I'm a particularly huge fan of Gouda in general. It's a nice touch to give you something different. Clean the palate with some of this, the orange drink. That's pretty good too. Very artificial, at least it's artificial tasting as the US MRE ones, but sweet and definitely orange. And I guess this will be our dessert, the nut butter on the biscuit. Which of course we already know is good because I had it for lunch too. That was about it. Overall it was very good. Probably the most important thing in a ration is the mains, and they were very tasty. I was sort of surprised how good this goes with the samp. But this and the lunch with the chicken, pasta, and vegetables, they're both very good. Other than that, it's kind of a mixed bag of stuff. Basically what you need for 24 hours worth of nutrition. I think it works very well. And so that was a look at the Day 4 menu of a 2018 SANDF 24-hour ration pack, or RAT pack. And also, of course, thank you for watching.